always good if you have the camera on. Hey, good morning, Kelly Debs. How are you? Right here.
Good morning.
Oh boy,
I
yeah,
didn't know
we're still.
I didn't know you had already gone live. We're 1 minute early.
I saw you combing my hair this morning.
It is lovely to see you this morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm trying to find it. Where?
Yep, so good to have you with us, Kelly Debs. And Mike Seller, good morning. Yeah, I love how Primo gets started with like the sound effects and everything. It's like
we need a good morning, good morning.
Yeah. Yeah, one of our projects over the next few days is going to be to see what we can do to get some like kind of warm up to the start of the live music, get some nice pleasant jazz or something. So as you start to gather up your beverage of choice, you can start to have some peppy music.
Jen's here.
Oh, Jen, earlier is better?
We got Mike, we got Callie, we got Spam.
Hey, good morning, Spam Banshee.
Good morning, everyone.
So earlier is better or later is better? That's the question of the day there.
That is the question of the day.
Hey, good morning. And Stoic Reseller is here.
Good morning.
He's the one that we watched the video the other day, and he said, don't forget to rule the day. That was the nice ending for it.
Rule the day. I like it. Not rule the day. Rule it.
Yeah. What did I say?
No, I'm asking it.
Yeah, rule.
Okay.
Rule the day. Not
rue the day.
Rue the day.
Does sound very similar.
Supremo Chemo, you prefer oh yeah, 6 Eastern? I don't think so. 3 a.m.
3 a.m. is a little early for us.
Stoic, yeah. Earlier is always better. Yeah, we're trying to be like a gentle addition to the community here. There's some that reached out when we started to schedule these for 6 a.m. Pacific Standard, which is 9 a.m. Eastern, also 8 a.m. Central Time, that there was some that were like, hey, we've already got channels that are running at this time. Is there any way you can adjust around that? And they asked really nicely. We're trying to be accommodating, especially too, because we're the new kids on the block. So we're trying to be considerate there. But, that being said, if the whole group here just says, hey, 6 a.m. works better for us, that's what we need, that's what we want, then we might have to have further conversation. But again, we're just trying to not step on any toes.
6 a.m. does, like, at least for us, it starts our day like
that's it. Yeah,
like we're ready, like let's do this.
That kickstarts you like a couple of like paddles, like you're on the
you're definitely like you're on.
That is so funny. That's adorable. Spam and Primo when you react to each other in the chat. By the way, that's fantastic.
That is cool.
But yeah, so we'll consider that. Yeah, and even for us, 7 a.m. It's not bad.
I don't know if we'll consider 6 a.m. Eastern.
Definitely not 6 a.m. Eastern. That Primo, we're ruling that one out right now.
Like we love you, but that's a lot.
At that point, we're just hanging out with Carl at eBay Life like throughout the night. But wake him up, shake him up. Hey, 6x6, how are you doing this morning? So
good morning. Good morning.
So Mike said, I have a dog, so I'm up early regardless. Oh. Man, you ain't kidding.
We've trained our dog. If we sleep until 10, she'll sleep in with us. She's an excellent dog.
Yeah, but when we first got her, it's like up in the morning. It's like, and she was just.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
That was her way of whining, just like this one little monotone.
You just train that out of them.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
like, no, if I'm being lazy, you're gonna be lazy.
Exactly. Hi, dog. Welcome to Earth. We're gonna sleep in a little bit today.
Good morning, Gina.
Okay, all right, great. So Stoic Reseller was like, I'm up at 4 a.m. Pacific time, so pretty much as early as you went. Oh, well, that's really funny, Stoic Reseller, that you're up by 4 a.m. because, yeah, I'm usually up by like 5:30-ish, like 5 to 5:30.
I say anything before 5 is crazy.
Yeah, I thought I was the early one in the group, but apparently you got me beat by a good chunk of time there. That's amazing. Yeah. I wonder what you do for your regular job, because I know you're part-time, right? Part-time reseller like we are. And part-time YouTuber, and I guess as Darth Rifter is too, but and I'm sure others here in the chat. Those are just ones I remember.
Is a good and reasonable time.
Hey, good morning, Gina V527.
That's awesome. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, 4 is an impressive time.
Yeah. I know there's some YouTubers I watch that wake up at 4 a.m. and I'm just so impressed by them.
Yeah, no,
I never strive for that.
We're trying to get there, and again too, if we end up committing to the 6 a.m. time, if that's the way it goes over the future here, then that might be something.
And we did get mixed messages, because at first when we originally said 6, there were a lot of people that were like, 6 is too early. Like, no, can't do 6. We only did one show at that time yesterday, and I have to admit, I did kind of like it. So, I mean, but the 7 is okay too, because it's only an hour later. It's not that big of a deal.
Oh, so that's funny. Stoic Reseller, says, I'm a logistic analyst for a large garbage company. To be at work by 6 a.m.
Wow.
That's funny because I work with a medical data software company, and so there's a lot of logistics and analysis and all that stuff that go on. So you and I could probably talk. I think we'd probably have a very similar kind of set of pain points that we would be able to talk through.
So
Let's see here.
I agree with Jen. She said it doesn't matter what time I get up. We'll just be taking naps during the day.
Mhm.
Jen, I had actually decided that. So I do sleep with this ring, and it tells me, analyzes my sleep and everything. Like for the last 4 nights, I haven't gotten as much sleep as I would like. And I had decided, I'm like, I think today I might end up taking a nice nap.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Oh, hey, awesome, Paul Rose, you made it. He's one of our
Good
favorite
morning.
one of our favorite Brits over there. That's so cool, man. So glad you're with us, Paul. That's so nice to have you. But yeah, that's really funny, Stoic. Yeah, so we'll see. We might have an opportunity to talk about that in the future. Napster Day. So Gina V527. In fact, I gotta be better about pinning these messages so that we can start to see. Hopefully those pin okay for you guys, and you can see them all right as we start to pin them. You guys are so awesome for giving us time to get all this stuff figured out.
I know.
We're trying.
We at least figured out how to do the live.
Yeah. Oh man. Whew. Yesterday we were sweating. We were doing a lot of like trying to figure.
We were
things
so
out.
early too, and we're like, let's do this, and then we were late, and then had to start a new one.
Yeah. Yeah. For the first major morning.
I agree. Naps are good.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. I think I can unpin message now. So cool.
Oh, thanks, Tree Cat.
Yeah. So good to have you with us, Tree Cat. We got to circle back with you about your cross listing program too. And so shout out to Tree Cat. They're working with resellers to make sure that you have an opportunity to, and we're not, we don't currently have a business relationship with Tree Cat. We're just giving them a shout out because we like them. But yeah, Tree Cat, they've been so nice. We love all your interaction with Flippin' Ain't Easy to you really develop a nice application that has a seller's best interest at heart for your cross listing. So thank you very much too for jumping in our chat. But yeah, we'll plan on something with you in the future. We're just trying to get everything all sorted and figured out.
All right. So what are everyone's goals for this morning? We have some slightly ambitious goals because, like I said, we're working on our restructuring process, and we made good progress yesterday due to you guys. We felt accountable.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy with what we were able to accomplish. So kind of going off of that, I think for the longest time, when you have a daunting process or a daunting project, and it feels like it's insurmountable and you're not seeing those daily progressions where you're like, okay, good, it's giving you steam to keep going. But
Cornhusker's here.
Oh, cool. Good morning, Cornhusker.
Yeah, good morning, Cornhusker.
Yesterday, we were able to make good enough, at least I was able to make good enough progress to where I'm actually seeing like the project coming together and it like the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm very excited to continue doing that. So I'm going to work very hard doing that. I'm also very happy I did take our little girl on a WALK yesterday.
we have to spell it out. Otherwise,
she won't stop until we take her.
Yeah.
And so I got her outside. I did that. I felt good about that. And also one thing is I'm going to drink Monday. I drank a ton of water. We have hydro flasks that are 32 ounces. We filled that up pretty much 4 times. So we drank almost like a gallon of water. I had so much more energy than I did yesterday. So today I want to get my hydration up.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to work on that of being more conscientious that we get going in like a work pattern and we'll be going like hours and realize like, I don't feel good. Like, why don't I feel good? And realize like, well, you're probably dehydrated and even sweating and not refilling. So let's see here. Yeah, do one small goal at a time. Jen, we totally do agree with that. JRKR 1964. That is so true. One small goal at a time.
That is kind of what we were doing yesterday, focusing on just this portion or whatever.
And it's so great having Paul Rose with us. He says, you're being lucky for me. 3 p.m. here and nothing all day. Logged onto the live and just got an offer. Not great, but I'll take it. Yay!
Oh, we'll give you a high five.
Yeah, no, we're sorry. Yeah, high five for you, Paul Rose.
You.
Sorry that it's not great, but hopefully it's just the start of great for you for the afternoon. We hope you get some major wins. All right, this afternoon we're just gonna pun the living daylights out of our name. So So here, so I agree. So my ongoing goal is to keep finding small changes in my process to become more time efficient. I feel my overall process is too long.
That's such a yeah.
Yeah, man, that's I'm sure for every single one of us that's a
Yeah.
truth, whether or not we acknowledge it, is the fact that the process needs to be refined. And so that's what we're really trying to work on for ourselves, is that we know kind of you're also way ahead of us, Stoic, in the clothing experience, like in the clothing you sell. For us though, we're still kind of nitpicky with ourselves about the quality of the clothing that, I mean, granted, yeah, I'm sure you are too. But what I mean to say is we're a little bit perfectionistic with ourselves
It slows us down.
in a way that slows us down as we're going
Yeah.
through clothing. So we actually really have been enjoying your channel, and we're looking for little nuggets of ways to improve our process based off of what we see you successfully doing. So thank you very much. And we have to be better about being able to like jump in there and share channels. But it's cool. So many on here have their own channels. Just follow the name back, and you'll be able to see their channel.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what's interesting though, for our clothing process, it has gotten way more efficient than we first started. And
It's a work in progress.
yeah, and I mean, part of that comes down to gaining more experience and researching
Right.
knowledge with brands. So that's a first layer. Second of all, too, I'm starting to really get a good feel for what tolerance buyers have for imperfections in items and defects, and the difference between a hole and a stain, and how a buyer would respond to that. And also, learning a lot more about how they read listings. So those are all kind of, and maybe not for today, but those are all mini goals on our list. So fresh from Heavenly Donuts. Hey, Biff Boffo, good morning. Great to see you. Glad to have you with us. So nice to see all these friendly faces popping up here.
Okay, is Heavenly Donuts a channel or an actual thing? Because it
I
sounds
don't think
wonderful.
that's his channel name, but Heavenly
That
Donuts.
sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it sounds great. Like
Now I need to go to the donut shop that's up the street. Like that's put bad thoughts in my mind. I really want some donuts
that's
now.
so funny. Oh, Mike Soto,
Listing more
vinyl.
vinyls, yes.
Mike, so wasn't that so cool? The video that Primo Chemo did the other day with the walkthrough and it was a membership video. So if you didn't see it, sign up for Primo Chemo's membership. But it was so cool, that tour that he took us through on his vinyl. That was beneficial for us because we do come across vinyl, and we're still everything sellers enough to where we don't rule it out. But that's so funny. I see where the things like
amazing how listings equal sales.
That
like,
is so
that's
funny.
amazing. No, it is so true.
Who said that? I didn't see that.
Oh, it was right after Mike's vinyl comment. Because yeah, I just read the first comment or the first sentence too.
Yeah.
But then his next comment was amazing how listings equal sales.
Oh, right. A part of that. Yeah, listen more vinyl. That is very funny.
No, it is. It's true. Like, because we once again, like those vinyls, I don't know if they've been sitting there for a while, or you recently got them and you were overwhelmed, and then you're like, okay, I'll just do it. Let's list them. And then yeah, they move. It's
so I'm actually
cool.
pinning Paul Rose's comment too, because this is actually something that is really, part of our goals that we're setting for the day. Part of what we're doing, and part of the reason why we even want to do this with all of you, is the fact that because there's been so many, it's just kind of like the fog of war. Ro and I will use that expression all the time, like when we're trying to solve a problem, but there's so many details that it gets overwhelming, or we're having trouble untangling the details. What we call it kind of the fog of war situation. There's so much that's kind of fog of war in e-commerce, but even on eBay, especially right now, that it can really be deflating, like really help you to not be motivated for your goals. So what we're trying to do is just say, okay, how do we be able to get a routine that gets us moving, gets us on track, and then regardless of external circumstances that we can't control, what can we control to where at least we feel good about the process? And it creates an environment where, if favorable conditions arise, that we're primed and ready to go to get those sales.
Yeah.
So that's really what we're trying to just focus on, to keep ourselves attentive and motivated.
Well, and yesterday too, with Paul's message about the time management, yesterday too, something that I did, because I was definitely lacking the motivation and got a bit tired during the later morning. One of the things I did, I was like, okay, I have to complete this project. And I literally gave myself a timeline. I'm like, you have until, and it was like until the next hour, I think it was 11. And I'm like, that's 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes to finish wrapping up this project. And then I worked really hard, but then I told myself that I could relax for 20 minutes after that and take a break. And it was helpful. But sometimes you have to, time management is a struggle.
Super is. Yeah. And so 6x6 too, I want to pin your comment as well. I really like that. Let's see here. Yep. Should be replacing pinned. Okay, cool. That, that's such a good point too. Spent the better part of the week doing things for other people. My number one goal is to get me back on track this week/weekend. And 6x6, that's such a good point. We found for us one of the biggest challenges is that when people learn that we're resellers, and again, it's not a bad challenge. We're happy to help, but we get a lot of individuals that will say, "Hey, can you help me sell things?" And we're happy to help out with that. But the challenge is that we'll sometimes get several at the same time, and then before you know it, we're
It can be
actually
really overwhelming.
yeah, it's like we want to help, but also too, you definitely have to have that balance to where you don't want to be the gas truck that has all the gas, but your tank is empty for sure. Where you got plenty for other people, but you need some for yourself. So that's a
is
very
true.
That's like a mental health statement almost, where it's like I need some time for me, and it's not that you're putting yourself first. It's that
you gotta fill your cup
you got to
up
put
again.
yourself somewhere, otherwise there's gonna be none of you left. So let's see. So anyways, let's go ahead and continue on there. But thank you for that. That's a really great point. Really
Excellent reminder for all of us.
Yeah, sure is. So Stoic, a reseller, I had that hesitation when starting clothes. You'll get over it. It's an experience thing. Yeah, it certainly is. And again, too, like we want to be super transparent as we're getting started. That we've got 5,000 sales under our belt, and that we don't just put that work in the trash can and be like, all right, that's nothing. However, we definitely have the humility to just say, you know what, there's plenty like Stoic reseller that are in some of our biggest categories, like clothing, that are ahead of us. That we don't view you as a competitor, but we view you as somebody that's like, hey, if we share, we all grow together, and we super appreciate that. That your videos are super transparent, and especially for those that are data driven, you're a great guy for that.
All right, Cornhusker Pickers, next comment. Lots of mini goals, but it's May, and I love the exclamation mark.
But it's
I love
May.
the passion of it. Every May, I start to build a 3-month draft bank for summer vacations in the fourth quarter. That is genius, because we really do have, at least what we try to remind ourselves is, you have to remember the quarter that you're in, but then also plan for that future. And every month we try to come up with, and today is the first, so I am a little extra excited because it is the start of a new month. Every month we do try to set up the goals that we want to accomplish that month to kind of keep us a little bit more focused, but then not too planning out too far in advance, but coming up with a draft bank for summer vacations. Like, what's a summer vacation? I don't even remember what that is.
Oh man, yeah, we're really bad about that. And I mean, especially for me, caring about my wife and everything, I realize what, it's not the time isn't just going to present itself. You have to literally carve it out, rip it out, just frame it and protect it, but put walls up around your downtime and vacation time, because otherwise, like we talked about before, you're going to have nothing left in the tank. And then every issue you face, every challenge, it seems so much bigger than it actually is, because you're already exhausted. You're at a down point.
And that's a good, that's a good way to plan for the summer slowdown too. If you already do have a draft bank where you can refresh yourself, but then you're still keeping your business alive too. That's really smart.
Let's see. I missed, what did Primo say that was inspiring and encouraging for Mike Seller? I don't see it. Well, we'll just have to figure that out along the way. But yeah, that's cool. Mike Seller, I'm glad you're feeling inspired by Primo Chemo. We sure are.
Every day. Thanks, you guys.
And Stoic Reseller responding to Paul Rose, it's just you. My whole process got shaken up when I started working with the wife. It changes everything. Yeah, actually, that's a good point too, that that we talked about that the other day on one of the lives, that because we kind of,
it actually might have been in the video that ended up the audio got corrupted.
Oh, where the audio got corrupted. Oh, maybe
it might have been that video.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talked about that, how when you do work with a partner, you guys don't always see eye to eye with everything. One person might view one project as being more of a priority. The other person, it's not a priority, or they want to do it differently. It does change things up a lot.
Yeah. Well, and so yeah, it definitely is one of those things where it's a dance, and you don't want to be stepping on each other's toes for sure. And so, Paul Rose, again, I got to be better about pinning these comments. I'm learning here.
Mhm.
But watch the video so far. Thanks for the name check, by the way, and like them. Might not always be able to do the lives with the time difference, but I'll hop on when I can, guys. Yeah, Paul Rose, we totally understand that. We don't worry at all about you being supportive or anything. You're super awesome about that.
And there's no time that's going to be perfect for everybody. But
Exactly.
when you're here, we love it. It's good to see you.
Yeah, totally agree. Well put, babe. So yeah, we appreciate you so much, Paul Rose. You're hilarious too. Like we've got so many that have awesome senses of humor on
I
here.
know.
It's so
Our
good.
comments are always really
But
funny. That's
I'm
awesome.
so often I find myself just like full on cracking up to where my abs are sore by the end. It's great. And so Paul Rose talking to Stoic Reseller. Let's see here. Placement mentions just me even dealing with stuff outside eBay too gets overwhelming. Need to be a bit kinder to myself. Productivity drops when you're exhausted anyway. Yeah, and a lot of us are emotionally tired, and that
Yeah.
can take different forms for all of us. But like watching a few of the recent reseller videos, everyone just seems so burned right now. And it's hard to watch. And then when you're over on your side, you're watching it too, and you're going like, you know what? I'm kind of starting to either pick up on that, and that's changing me, or I'm identifying it in myself, but I'm also feeling kind
Well,
of
yeah,
a bit
the
down.
emotional exhaustion, because like none of us are seeing the sales that we necessarily expected to see or we're hoping to see. So it's exhausting when you feel like you're working and working. I know, like I definitely dealt with that in December. I was very frustrated with the results eBay was giving us, and it's like you're working and you're working and you're like, what is it for?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a struggle.
Yeah, because we jumped in initially like pretty hard with promoter listings. Like, okay, maybe that will just exponentially help.
We had such high hopes.
Yeah, help our sales and everything. And it's like, no, they just exponentially got more cash from us.
Mhm.
And so that was definitely one of those moments where you're like, okay, we need to make sure that we protect our business interests first, and then from there start to branch out into
I'm
other
picturing in
promoted
my
things.
head, I don't know if any of you guys have seen What About Bob, but when in What About Bob, when Bob Wiley calls his therapist and a therapist gets so mad and like tells him he's like, that was not smart. That was not smart. And I'm like, yeah, that's how I felt with the promoted listings
Seriously.
in December.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Yeah, and Stoic Reseller, so pin your comment as well.
So you're like pinning them as you read them?
Yeah,
Oh,
and I don't know
that's
where they're
so
pinned to, but I mean, hopefully it does
Well,
highlight them.
I think it just goes to like the top of the feed for whoever's
I'm
watching.
trying to.
That's smart.
Yeah, just trying to help.
It is helpful.
Yeah, so that we can understand what we're all talking about a little bit better. I won't do it all the time, but just a little bit to help it going. So, but yeah, at least you recognize the issues. There are many that don't know that and ultimately hit the wall at full speed. Oh, seriously.
That's
and
so true.
That has
We've
been
all
us.
been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've definitely been there.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead here. But yeah, already hit the wall at a sprint. Today, I'll lick my wounds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
like those wounds. Yeah, it totally does happen.
Sometimes the only goal you need for the day is just say, you know what? I need to rest so that I can be the best me tomorrow for sure.
Yeah.
Here, let's see.
And hopefully
here.
everyone will get some good weather this weekend. So maybe you guys can get some legit good rest.
Yeah, we've got some gardens near us, and Thursday this week we're gonna go take. Actually, what we'll try to do, like a little snapshot video of some of the key areas of. We're going to the Huntington Library. We'll send some videos. That is the most beautiful garden I think I've ever seen. I don't know about you, and I've been to some of like the most beautiful areas
in the United States, because obviously like England has some really cool gardens, and so in
the
United States.
Yeah, we haven't been most places, so I'm sure that there's something more beautiful. But from my limited
Southern California,
I'm just talking about from my exposure, from what I have seen. It's one of my very favorites.
Callie agrees with us.
What's that? Oh, you've been out there, Kelly. That was awesome.
Yeah, the Huntington Library.
I think I'm falling behind in the chat.
A lot of the. No, you're not that far behind. There's only a couple of. Oh, right. So Mike was saying thanks to Primo because of the vinyl video. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's so good.
No, actually, that was clear. We just kind of forgot.
Oh, my chat's just like super behind yours. That's funny. On the actual video that I'm looking at, it's about like 20 seconds behind. So let's see here. So which comment are we on? Yeah, referring to the vinyl, no problem. Paul Rose, you're not wrong, Ro. Through voodoo. That's funny. I've managed to course correct the ship about a quarter. Hopefully, I can still turn it in time to avoid the iceberg, but some of that is in Glitch's hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's good though. I mean, hey, if you're turning that ship and if things are going forward, then and that's all we can do.
Yeah.
It's a constant learning experience, and as algorithms keep changing and updates keep changing and everything, it really keeps us all on our toes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
every time they do anything, it's like, oh, okay, all right, another learning experience. But it keeps you sharp. You can't fall into too much of a rut. They just won't let it.
or at least you feel the sharp. You feel the sharp. No, I don't know. Yeah, for us, I think one of the biggest things that just helps us keep our sanity is then when we feel really frustrated by like a change in like an eBay, whatever, and change in an eBay, whatever. We just then, if we're feeling down about it, we just revisit our process, and we know that that's not necessarily going to be a full solution, but allows us to be productive in a way to where it's like, okay, we feel satisfied by the work we're putting in, and it makes us feel productive.
Well, and like you guys are saying, constantly changing your strategies and trying to make improvements, that's not a bad thing. So it is good that we constantly are having to learn and update and make tweaks.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think we've all already had that point at some stage where we've hit a wall. And it's nice that you could turn to the reseller community and be like, hey, I need a little bit of a boost. And you got a lot of people going, rah, 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 we got you.
I'm glad you're getting some sun today. I hope we're really cloudy today, like really overcast.
Yeah.
But I think it will end up burning off. But I am glad, Paul, that you are getting some sun today.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
So one thing I wanted to share with the group, especially for those that might be coming on later, in regards to like my goals of what I'm going through. So what's interesting is we've mentioned a few times before in Primo Chemo's chat, and I think at least once previously on our videos that we had an opportunity to go up to a house in Beverly Hills where it was a kind of I wouldn't say a super famous actress, but a semi-famous actress from like the 1960s, 70s, and kind of into the 80s, who had passed away. And we're protecting the name just for the privacy of the family, because it's very recent that she's actually passed. But it's interesting though that from that we have gotten so many articles of clothing, many of them very vintage, and
very vintage.
Yeah, I've been able to sort through a lot of the actual primary clothing itself, but now I've got just so many. Should I put these on the camera there? So many gloves, sets, and different things where she had the tiniest little hands, but
she had very small hands.
But so we're going through all these pairs now, and we're trying to like just evaluate them, and not all of them have sizes, which are a real challenge, but they're really
and we're not very familiar with selling gloves, so
thankfully some of them are like they're old vintage Nordstrom ones and everything, but yeah, so that's really been fun going through and seeing all of these items. But along with that, and I'll just kind of back up a little bit, she also had a ton of scarves, and let me just kind of
not all of those are from her. That's just our collection of scarves.
Most are though. I've already been through.
A lot of those came from Palm Springs.
But we've got so many.
We have a lot of scarves.
So many. This is like I'm not grabbing nearly the whole batch of everything.
So yeah, that's one of our projects, the gloves and the scarves, trying to do research. We'll probably end up lotting them together. But then even what I was thinking is lotting similar materials together or pattern colors and everything. So we're not sure exactly how we're going to lot them, but also photographing a lot of scarves will also be difficult. So any suggestions you guys have about that, because there's quite a few.
These are so nice. Like a lot of them are like pashmina and silk. Really, so at Kelly Debs, she still scarves very well. Well, maybe we need to figure something out, Kelly Debs, because we're not exactly like the best for a scarf selling and everything. So we need to either learn from you, or maybe we'll get these into your hands somehow.
Okay, so it looks like she does them individually. She doesn't lot them.
Let's see here. What was that?
She says I don't want them. So
I thought you said she doesn't want them, and I was like, oh, okay. I don't want them.
They sell really good. I don't want them.
It's like she's like I don't want your trash. Major win. Thank you very much for that.
I was thinking more maybe with the synthetic ones, maybe lotting them, because the silk ones, most of the silk ones, just due to the quality, they will have a tag saying 100% silk.
Is this what you're talking about there, Kelly Debs, like with the hand rolled? Maybe we're looking for the wrong thing.
Um,
No, she's like, no. All right. Well, I'm not going to go through each one of the scarves individually to try to find one, but we'll have to do some research on that. But thank you for the heads up.
yeah, we will try to do some research on them, but there's a few of them, which is also where I get frustrated. They feel and look like silk, but then they're not tagged. And
It's
we're not 100% sure if they are silk, because some synthetics, like what's the satin,
mhm.
some satins, there are times when I feel something in it, I'm like, this is satin, this isn't silk, and then it has a tag that says 100% silk, so I'm like, oh, this is frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is kind of hard. That one is so pretty, I kind of want to keep it, but
Yeah. Yeah. We have so many of these that we're trying to figure out. And the vintage ones, like from the 70s, 80s, and everything, is so much
yeah,
fun.
they are difficult.
So, Kelly Dibbs, we'll have to do some research on that, but thank you for the heads up because we're just barely getting into scarves. We primarily deal with tops and bottoms
Yeah.
for clothing. But that's great. And so, what was the Spinal Tap album? I'm not, unfortunately, Paul Rose. You lost me on Spinal Tap. I know we overlap over a
We
lot of our
actually
music
do
choices,
get
but
men's vintage ties also. In
Mhm.
fact, we do have some of them, but it's about to be 7:30.
yeah, actually, so I moved my meeting back.
Perfect. Okay, good.
But we should keep like we want to keep these specifically
Yeah.
tight so people can actually go accomplish their goals.
Awesome.
But one of the last things that I did want to share too that again we've sold some watches in the past, but they're really research intensive for us. So we're figuring out whether or not we want to continue doing watches. But we did come across a lot of these old, well, I shouldn't say old, but they're vintage like Looney Tunes and Warner Brothers watches from the 90s. And so we're doing a lot of research right now, trying to figure these out, see if I can get the little Taz
Yeah,
on there.
they're pretty cool.
If I could get it a little bit more straight towards the camera. But yeah, so we have several that are like Taz and um, okay, what you showed me with tassels. Oh, that's good to know, Kelly Debs. Thank you very much for. So apparently, what I showed on the.
But yeah,
Paper
what
that
she was
scarf.
talking about, she goes, it looks like it's
Because I love this
so
Taz watch. Oh, as it
handle.
smashes into the camera. It's
Pretty
not a major win moment until I do something that like messes with the camera.
handled edges. Okay, yeah, we have.
But yeah,
Well, Callie, you have a lot of information.
yeah, she's got good
We're gonna have
knowledge
to
for us.
research these.
We
That's a
hope
good idea.
all y'all have channels because the knowledge you share with us is constantly beneficial. Like we super appreciate it. But yeah, so we're trying to research watches. We got gloves going on. We're trying to get these scarves sorted. But we're and also too, I've got a bunch of photoed, kind of picked clothing items that I need to get listed today.
Get
So,
listed
so that's
up.
on my
Perfect.
list for sure. And so let's see here. So Paul Rose, for you, what time do you usually wrap up work in a day, if you don't mind me asking? I'm always curious for when the workday ends for folks, because for us, it's like all the time.
Thanks for that advice, Callie. I'm gonna look into that. Thank you. That's very helpful.
Yeah, yeah, we're really gonna start looking more for what is valuable, because otherwise we'll end up blotting them, and there might be a valuable scarf in there, but there will be others that are not, and so people might skip right past the listing. Let's see here. That is really funny, Taz. Yeah, we there's another guy we know down kind of in the Long Beach area that his brother was named Spider, and apparently there was like a whole long trail for the nickname behind it. It was pretty cool. But thanks, Genevieve527 about the watches. Yeah, it's exciting kind of going through them. We actually got these in a whole lot of clothing. They were in like one of the bags that came along with it. So it's just like it was just a handful of them in there. Alrighty. So okay, your real job, you get off at 5 p.m. Typically done around 7-ish. Woo.
That's a
7-ish.
long day.
7-ish. Excuse me. Yeah, that's a very long day, Stokely. So yeah, so for me, for my job, I get started by 6 a.m. I'm off of my primary work by usually around 3:30. Then I fit in a couple hours of eBay. And then after that, now over the past couple weeks, then we've been trying to figure out in that additional time, we take a little bit of time for ourselves, but also too we're plotting and figuring out the course for there's like not only YouTube, but also we're doing sourcing and all of that stuff. So a lot of our auctions we'll put in our final bid for it a night in advance. Is we just have to do it because otherwise we won't have the time to see
That
the
is
auction
true.
in real
Yeah.
time. It's not the most effective for making sure that you don't
Lose your item.
lose your item, or it also too can kind of telegraph your punches when somebody wants to bid against you, but sometimes you just have to.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Feeling tired and unmotivated. Oh, Jen. Well, you know what? Hopefully today we can give you a little bit of a boost. That again, show up as we have our 5:30 p.m.
Winning
Pacific
wind down?
time, or 8:30
Is it
p.m.
winning
Eastern
wind up or
Standard
winning
Time.
wind down?
Winning wrap up.
Wrap up.
Yep.
That's what it is.
The wind up was one of the, or it was the wind down.
The wind down.
We're almost going to call it the winning wine down, but we're like, some people, if they don't drink, we don't want to make it weird. So we'll just call it the winning wrap up. And
wrap up, that's what it was.
And and that was a, I think, who was that a recommendation by? That was the 6x6.
6x6 or Cornhusker? I think it was 6x6.
Yeah. But I mean, they both provided us great suggestions, but well, Jen, hopefully you get some additional motivation and again, that's why we're even just doing this, because frankly, as of lately, we've been really struggling with motivation. So this isn't just like, hey, let's just do this. It's like, we actually super need it.
Yeah, and then knowing that we were held accountable at 5:30, we're like, let's get this done. And then it did, and it felt good. And I think we're going off of the momentum of yesterday to where today, because I will admit today I am more tired. That's why I said I'm going to take a nap. But it is also because I have some momentum from yesterday. I'm like, okay, like we can do this. And we're going to meet up again at 5:30 today. So I have to be able to, say what things I accomplished.
Yeah. Well, and for me, it's been a challenge too, that for my primary work, we have a major project release going out over the next few weeks. Major project release. Oh, the puns will never stop. But yeah, so for my primary work, and I work 9-hour days. And so fitting in after that or before that, some eBay and now YouTube work, it's like, it's kind of daunting, but we're trying to treat that as actually our time, because we're working on something.
It is more fun. We do enjoy, we enjoy, because we're always together when we're doing our work. Yeah. Versus when he's doing his work, he's really on his own. So it is more our time together when we get to work on our project. So it is fun.
Well, and it's better than sitting and just like watching TV. Like we'll have, for many of you that are on here, we'll have your channels playing in the background, and that kind of gets us motivated. But that's why too, we're going to start to try to figure out in the future how we can have time where it's like, hey, not only are we going to have a little opportunity where you could log in for just like we're talking about right now, what are our goals for the day? Get you fired up, get excited about the fact that it's like, we can be productive.
Not doing this by yourself.
Yeah, you can be productive, and it might not deliver the direct result, but ultimately we all kind of have a little secret just feeling inside of us that it's like, as long as we keep doing our job right, the day will come where the sun will rise and you'll have the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm glad I stuck with it, because the sales will start to explode onto the scene.
I'm loving Primo and spam right now. All right, Primo, I'm super proud of you. And I do have to remember, because I was like, man, that's incredible. You are 3 hours ahead of us. So that makes me feel a little bit better. But that is awesome. And we still have not done a nuclear reset. We've been talking about it.
We're so scared about doing a nuclear reset, but honestly, we trust you and the process will work.
We've watched your video about how to do it like at least twice.
Yeah.
I'm still a little confused.
We sit there, we watch it, like,
taking notes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it works, but really, what if we're going to mess up?
Because we've never done that. And some of our listings are technically years old. And we were like, what would that do to our store if we did that? So it's very inspirational how you do that.
Isn't it funny how like natural Primo chemo is at like just getting people fired up? As soon as Primo jumps back into the chat, it's like, isn't it like your like brother or sister like jumping in, getting you like
big brother.
Yeah, getting all hyped up and excited. It's just, and same thing with Spam Banshee. You guys are just such an epic team.
I do la-di-da.
Yeah, la-di-da. I know, it's like and as they like give each other a hard time, it's extra awesome. But yeah, so Paul Rose, I basically do as much as I can. Depends what else comes up to deal with. Generally up 4 or 5 a.m., 6 a.m. latest usually. Often done 19-hour days, but you get to burn out quick, struggling today. Yeah, it's nice. We're all kind of struggling today. I mean, just so you know, like on our side, we're jazzed now to see you guys. But if you weren't here, we actually would be really sluggish.
I did tell him this morning when I woke up, I was like, okay, today I'm tired. The last few days I've been able to power through, and I'm getting up at 5, and today I was tired.
Yeah.
And the weather is just so gloomy and overcast. In Southern California, we're used to seeing the sun bright and early, There's no sun today.
Yeah, let's see. So, and Paul Rose said, sometimes stop and start again. I skipped Spam Banshee saying working on drafts. That is so cool, Spam. Yeah, I need to work.
I gave her a little high five.
Okay, good. Yeah, I definitely am struggling with the fact that I've got plenty of pics. It's so easy for me to get pictures. Pictures does not slow me down. I can do pictures all day. But the challenge is that for both of us, like she can do listings anytime, but for me, definitely on my side, listings are a major drag. I'm not excited about doing listings. I love sourcing. I love doing the pics. I love shipping. The one thing I'm trying to be okay with, and that's probably true for many, but I guess then it's just consistent for me that I definitely
So
don't
did you see
prefer it.
Paul Rose's message?
I'm just getting to that right now.
Okay.
No, but you could.
Well, no, just that he's worked through the night once. That is so cool.
That is not shocking, Paul Rose. And actually, as you present yourself, it's like, frankly, we think you only work at night. So it's so
But
funny.
like for our 24-hour list party, that he would probably be absolutely on board.
Yeah, Paul Rose, if you have a channel, so and for anybody that might be here that didn't happen to hear us before, that what we're trying to do is maybe in like a couple months get a group of a total of 24 of us sellers that also have channels, and then do a like, and that's not to say any one channel has to be up for all this time, but if you want to, you can. But if we could do a like 24-hour, 24 channel listing day where starting at 12 p.m. going all the way to, is it 12 p.m. midnight
AM.
12 a.m. But going from 12 midnight, 12 midnight.
No, I always thought every time you'd say 12, I pictured lunchtime one day to lunchtime the next day.
See, well, that's why we got to talk and work the logistics.
Apparently, well, we haven't told it. It's still
either way, 24 hours,
idea,
24 hours, 24 channels. But then if we could get support from sellers that are in Australia and in the United Kingdom, then that would be nice because nobody would really have to bear the burden of being a participant.
Although
at an hour that is
you
super
also said you wanted to list for 24 hours.
Yeah, well, that's me though, and
so he was like, we should be on.
I think it'd be really.
It would be fun.
Just once. This is not like an all the time thing.
What would be cool also is if we could somehow do it from like one account, and then people could pop in. Then we could also all kind of do it together.
That also sounds too
daunting.
much. Yeah, it sounds. Like
either way, it's an idea.
Yeah, but it'd just be nice if like somebody has their channel, they list for an hour, and they do a handoff saying, "Okay, I'm going to hand off to this channel." But again, especially if we could do it combined with the United Kingdom and Australia, then you have a lot of people being able to do that in their comfortable hours, as opposed to where they actually would feel good and motivated to do it, where somebody doesn't have to do it at like midnight, where it's like, all right, I have to list because I said I would do this thing. Like, if somebody wants to stay up and enjoy it at that time, great, but we don't want anybody committed to that.
So Kelly Debs reminded me of the phrase May Gray. I forgot about May Gray, and this is absolutely May Gray.
Yeah. Especially, definitely. Kelly Debs, where you're at with us in California, in many cases, not all the time, but in many cases, we share the very similar, if not the same weather. So it's so good as we talk about those kinds of things. We overlap so often.
And Gina has sun in North Carolina. That is awesome.
Yeah, and so Biff Boffo, I like what you said too, and I'm going to pin that comment really quick. Let's see here. So he says, remember when you feel burnout, someone else is feeling it too. And this is when you bear your competition, work through it. Yeah, so what is it? I shared that on eBay Life's channel the other day too, that it's, oh man, what is it? Be productive while they party, and then what's the expression? It was such a good one that I just came across
with lots of clever ways to end that, but
no, it was persevere while they party, and then it's not strategize while they sleep, but essentially like
it sounds like an excellent saying.
If I could ever remember it,
I feel inspired already.
It's completely memorable. You'll never forget
change your life.
Yeah, it'll change your life. You'll never forget it. But essentially the point is though, it's like it's so true that like the difference between success and failure is just endurance. Just continuing.
Yep, that consistency.
Yeah.
I hope we don't get June gloom. I mean, I do prefer
June gloom.
I do prefer when it's not insanely hot unless I'm on vacation. If I'm on vacation, I want it to be hot. But if I'm working, I don't want it to be a billion degrees. So if it is, June gloom, then it'll be an easier work experience.
Definitely, for sure. All right. Well, we've already gone like 45 minutes. You guys are awesome for sticking it out with us. Well, we want all of you guys, we wish you all the best. We hope you all have a major win in sales today and also in motivation. Grasshopper, wise words you speak, your funny photos. But so yeah, exactly. It's like, all right, because that's what we're here for, is dojo talk. No, but we hope all of you guys get a little extra motivation today. And again, we wish you all major wins in every respect, because it's so hard on some days to have the motivation, but it's nice. Hopefully this morning we get a nice little kickoff, but also too, please go to Primo Chemo and Spam Banshee's channel later. So it's Primo Chemo, PRIMO space KIM as in Mary O. This is so cool.
And today it's at 10 o'clock Pacific time?
I think, yes, 10 o'clock Pacific time. So we're also going to be there. I'm going to be a little bit late because I've got a half an hour regular work meeting from 10 to 10:30 my time. But we're going to absolutely be on there. And also they have a guest star today, Hayfro Sells.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's always big on the data analytics and getting to the root of everything going on with eBay. But you guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for the support, especially for those that it's very odd hours for you. I mean, it's mid-afternoon over in Britain, and it's super early morning out in California, and it's regular morning out on the East Coast. So, but thank you guys for all being here and your supportive, kind, just comments and participation. We really cannot emphasize enough how grateful we are for all of you. So you're absolute rock stars. Have a good rest of your day.
We'll end it by giving you all a high five. That's for all of you guys.
That's right.
You can do it.
That's right. Oh, and then Spam Banshee, thanks for the major momo. Momo means peach in Japanese. My absolute favorite word. Momo. It's a momo. Momo's peach. Like so cool.
Aloha.
Yeah. Aloha. Yeah, I know. It's that.
I love how. Aloha.
I know. Oh man, I would love to be able to say aloha the way Spam Banshee says it. But appreciate you guys. See you on the next one. And again, we'll be on at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're able to make it, for those that need to sleep, wherever you're at, please take that rest. But anyways, thanks all. See you later.
Bye.
Major wins saying goodbye.